What is 5G? Let's start from the beginning. Every new generation of wireless networks delivers faster speeds and more functionality. 1G was basically a network with only voice call capabilities. During the 2G era, a few advancements were made within the spectrum to improve quality. 3G was a big revolution in terms of technological advancement for networks and data transmission speeds. 4G sets several requirements for mobile networks, including mandating the use of Internet Protocol for data traffic. This was a huge jump from the 2 megabytes per second speed in 3G. The technology was often referred to as magic. 5G is the new generation of wireless connection, which will be able to handle 1,000 times more traffic than today's networks. It will be up to 10 times faster than 4G. There are 5 new technologies which are emerging as a foundation of 5G. These are small cell, millimeter waves, massive MIMO, full duplex, and beamforming, and we'll discuss them further. What is a smart port? A smart port is an automated port that uses nascent technologies such as big data, IoT, blockchain solutions, and other smart technology-based methods to improve performance and economic competitiveness. The need to evolve and become smart is ever more paramount today. Ships are getting bigger, goods are moving faster, and geopolitical conflicts are creating new challenges. 90% of trade worldwide is done through sea. This makes the advancement of seaports an important investment for any coastal country. As the motion towards smart ports evolves, 5G technologies will no doubt be a major driving force for this advancement. To better understand how 5G can improve port performance, we should look at the way port operations work and the problem areas faced in terms of networking. In port operations, the unloading process looks like this. Cargo ships must first dock at the port, and cranes by the port then receive orders from the management system to unload the containers in sequence at the quayside. Meanwhile, the system sends orders to nearby guided vehicles to transfer the containers to their designated yards. The containers are then transported from the yards via trucks out of the port. The loading process follows the same procedure, but in reverse. To automate these processes, various technologies involving sensors and cameras are utilized. However, greater automation results in greater data volumes to be transmitted through the port's network. This can pose several challenges, especially regarding port settings. One major problem faced is the interference caused by a large number of metallic surfaces in the area. Signals bounce off of large containers and interfere with one another, reducing the quality of communication. Another issue is the difficulty of implementing wired technology in ports due to harsh weather conditions and constantly changing environments. This means that ports must rely mostly on wireless technology for transfer of data. However, 4G wireless technology is no longer sufficient to cater to modern data transfer demands, and innovation is needed for ports to stay efficient. So how can 5G technology be used to overcome these issues? 5G has long been associated with 5 main technologies as mentioned before. These are millimeter waves, small cell, massive MIMO, beamforming, and full duplex. One of these technologies, beamforming, or spatial filtering, is a signals processing technique used in sensor arrays for directional signal transmission or reception. In other words, beamforming can be used to send wireless signals in a specific direction instead of broadcasting them in all directions in the way that it is done now. It does this by sending out signals in a way so that constructive interference occurs in the direction that is intended for transmission, while destructive interference occurs in other directions, thus forming a beam. Going back to our first problem faced, this approach to signal transmission can reduce the issue of interference, as the router determines the exact location of the target device and sends out signals through the best routes to be properly received. Another technology, millimeter waves, uses a new frequency range to allow more devices to be connected with high-quality communication within the same area. Regarding the limited network capacity of 4G and wireless technologies, millimeter wave technology in 5G can cater to the increasing number of connecting devices to allow further automation in the port. The aim is to eventually switch all networks to 5G, as it provides solutions for problems faced as discussed. However, it also creates new challenges. One of these is the compatibility of old protocols with 5G technologies. To understand how this issue is being handled, we can talk about a very important protocol, TCP, or Transmission Control Protocol, and how it's been modified to provide larger throughput. For transport layer protocol headers, TCP is the most commonly used header format. This format, although it appears to be fixed, has been modified many times before to fit different network needs. The change is made to the congestion control algorithms part of the TCP header. The aim now is to find the right algorithms for 5G. Experts are studying the interaction between TCP congestion algorithms and millimeter wave technology. So how have they managed to enhance TCP? The best of these congestion control algorithms for 5G is an algorithm called BBR, developed by Google. BBR stands for bandwidth, bottleneck, and round-trip propagation time. So how does it work? The currently used technology assumes that packet loss means network congestion, which means that when packets are lost, that is, when acknowledgements are not received, the transmission rates are decreased dramatically. BBR, on the other hand, recognizes packet loss that is not indicative of link congestion through the use of an explicit model, thus allowing greater utilization of connection bandwidth. Several large websites are already powered by TCP BBR, such as Google and YouTube. The result is that we get higher throughput, calculated to be 2,700 times higher than today's best loss-based congestion control, making it better equipped to handle 5G information loads. This is an example of innovation of protocols to better accommodate the move towards faster, larger networks, specifically for TCP. So, to recap, in this video we briefly looked at the evolution of network technology and introduced 5G. We then introduced smart ports and their importance. We explored two problems faced in port development in terms of networking technologies, and explained how 5G technologies can address them and help solve the problems. We then explored the challenge of ensuring compatibility between old protocols and new 5G technologies. In all of these areas, there is still much room for further research and investigation. More problems to be addressed at ports, more potential for utilization of the full power of 5G, and more challenges to be overcome with the assimilation of 5G into ports. With the increase in availability of 5G technologies in the coming years, we hope to see more of these questions being answered and a greater interest in the development of smarter ports.